I don't understand why the president does not appreciate that. Ghanaians are simply tired of the empty sloganeering. You see, that Ghana Beyond 8 slogan was one of a multiplicity of slogans they just threw in there to create the impression that they were onto something serious. The truth is that that thing was founded on nothing. And it is the reason why we've made no headway. As I watched my brother attempt to explain what it was all about, he roped in just about everything. And that provided the clearest indication yet that they do not know what they are talking about. That whole slogan was not founded in any structured program to get us out of our present state. It was just thrown in there. It was a brainwave. And as they've done with almost about everything, they just couch some fancy slogans to create a sing-along situation, just so that people will remember that they have said something. Otherwise, on the very day that the same government was wallowing in mediocrity and celebrating the reaching of a staff agreement to the IMF, the president will not be calling for other countries to stop begging. You've just gone cap in hand to beg the IMF to rescue your economy, which you have destroyed. And you get only a staff agreement, which really means nothing much. And then a day or two after that, you are on an international circuit asking others not to borrow or beg when you yourself have gone begging. So it tells you that this thing is a complete waste of time. If I ask you to tell me what you think that means, you will struggle because there's no properly defined mechanism to measure or assess progress. The contours of that slogan are not properly defined. So nobody knows exactly what they are doing. You see, aid or the receipt of it is a function of the state of your development. When we were a low middle income country, we got a certain amount of aid. When we transitioned to middle income country, the amount of aid we got reduced because those who extended the aid to us felt that we no longer needed that kind of aid, and other countries who we had left behind in terms of the developmental trajectory were in better need of it. So when we transition from middle income to high income country, it will stop naturally. So it is not that this government has any conscious program to ensure that we no longer are reliant on aid. Check their budget and see if they are not receiving grants. What is a grant? It's an aid. It's free money that people dash you because of the state of your economy. Since they've been in power, they've received billions of Ghana cedis, hundreds of millions of dollars in grants. So you are taking it gleefully and graining from year to year and putting it in your budget. And then you turn around and pretend that you are doing something to stop you from receiving aid. So the MPP must get serious. The days when they wowed people and people got enamored by the slogans are gone. The reality on the ground shows that they have been a waste of everybody's time with those slogans. So we are no longer interested in it. The president must find something more substantive to do. At this stage, he should be telling us how he is going to relieve the severe and unprecedented economic hardships he is foisted on people with his mismanagement. We are not interested in lengthy, flowery speeches devoid of any substance on international circuits. That is not what is going to help us. People have real problems that they are confronting. This morning, people are thinking of what to eat. They cannot fathom how they are going to make it through this day. I mean, Christmas is just a week away. And you yourself can see the drought, the lack of excitement and anticipation. It's palpable for everybody to see. How does that dovetail into this, Ghana Beyond 8 agenda? What about Ghana Beyond incompetence and hopelessness? That is more fundamental to us as a people at this time than the songs that they are singing. And then I listened to my brother recite a litany of yet more slogans. One this shit, one factory, one this, one that. That is all that they do. Mundane, normal things that every government does. They come and couch slogans around them. And then the end product too is nothing significant or extraordinary. The sum total of all that singing they've done in the last 6 years is that our economy has been destroyed. That is the sum total of it. If indeed these things were substantive and there was serious, proper end product to them, we will not be in the economic state we are in. You partner private sector people to put up factories and you create the impression that it is the first time in our history that factories have been built. And I have always argued on this program, that government has there have been governments that have taken state money and put it into building factories that are producing tangible results. And the clearest example is the Ghana gas factory. We put in about $1 billion. Today, it saves us annually about $300 million in the importation of, fuel to fire thermal plants. It caters for more than half of our LPG needs. That's a substantive, tangible outcome. from a well-crafted vision to invest in industrialization. And so many others that have been done. You talk about industrialization, and at the same time, your currency is tumbling. Your currency is completely destroyed. At the same time that you are singing about import substitution. So if indeed you were doing something substantive, why has it not translated? Why do we not have import substitution that is significant enough to water down the demand that drives the need for foreign currency, which leads to the perennial depreciation of our currency? You have not achieved that, and yet you are singing. Look at this free SHS propaganda that he doubled in. What is the nexus between free SHS and quality? None. You have thrown people's children into the deep end. They are struggling to find proper food to eat. There's overcrowding, and standards are falling. Then once in a while, you nitpick on some results and come and tell us that we got those results because of free SHS. Why? Before free SHS came, people were not excelling in exams in this country. Go and check the results under the NDC. For about 3 or 4 consecutive years, the students who topped the WASI in the entire West African sub-region came from Ghana. So yes, it is significant. It's a major contribution if you pay the fees of students in SHS. But do not exaggerate the impact that has had. Before you came to power, there were almost 1 million students in school. So don't create the impression that what you have done is a be-all and end-all. What you often do is to paper over cracks. What they do also is just implement policy without deep thinking. And so they end up creating more problems than they came to meet. Look at this thing about one district, one village, one dam. Do you know of any serious dam that is functioning as we speak? Anyway, you went to dig holes and waited for rainfall to fill it. When the rain stops, the hole dries up. And you formed millions of Ghana cedis into this. And you are telling us that you've built a dam. When we all know that since Adam, governments have been building major, significant, world-class dams in this country to feed agriculture. It has been done before you. So the sloganeering is simply too much. Ghanaians are no longer interested in that. And if the president does not have any substantive offerings to give us, he should spare us this sloganeering and sing-along contest that he's engaged in at a time when people are suffering. What we want to hear is how we are getting out of the mess anytime soon. You highlighted it. Only yesterday, they themselves announced 50.3% inflation. The worst we've had in over 2 decades.
Let me just jump into that because
sure. Maybe then I can continue with it.